Shalom, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you. Since there's not many people here yet, I'm going to play a little music to allow folks to come in. And then after that, we will get started. I hope you're okay. So, we're going to talk about Campbell Soup and everything that happened this week, which has been horrible for them for business. And, there's another big corporation. Their asses will be okay. They earned a lot of money in all the years they've been in business. And just remember, y'all, many of these corporations started many of these corporations started by using slaves, and they're still in existence to this very day. Who do you think got those vegetables for Campbell Soup? Okay, slave labor. So, all those companies, uh, Del Monte, Campbell Soup came around really early. You remember it was Jim Crow, sharecropping. So, they were exploiting people in order to start these corporations. So when things like this happen, listen, ladies and gentlemen, don't feel too sorry for them. I sure don't. I don't feel sorry for none of these big corporations. None of them. But one thing I can say about Campbell Soup, because it's in Camden, New Jersey, they hired a lot of our people. Now, and when we get into it, we'll start talking a little more deeper about the ingredients. And, Campbell Soup is definitely not the only company you should be looking at, even the generic brands. So I will get more into that. I'm going to play a little music for more people to come in, but we'll really get into this story.
Yeah. When you said seek my face, my heart said to you, your face. Yeah, I will seek Psalm 27:8. When the night is cold and I can't see, I lift my voice and fall to my knees. The world is loud, but I want your peace. Yeah, I seek your face. Come and speak to me. Yeah, I seek your face, not just your hand. In a dry and weary land, you help me stand. I'm not asking for riches or signs from above. Just let me dwell in your presence and love. I seek your face, not just your hand. In a dry and weary land, you help me stand. I'm not asking for riches or signs from above. Just let me dwell in your presence and love. Tears have fallen like midnight rain, but you restore what the world can't claim. You said sing me and you'll find my grace. So here I am, yeah, I seek your face. Yeah, I seek your face, not just your hand. In a dry and weary land, you help me stand. I'm not asking for riches or signs from above. Just let me dwell in your presence and love. I seek your face, not just your hand. In a dry and weary land, you help me stand. I'm not asking for riches or signs from above. Just let me dwell in your presence and love. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Yeah. Call on him while he is near. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. See your face, not just your hand. In a dry and weary land, you help me stand. I'm not asking for riches or signs from above. Just let me dwell in your presence and love. See your face, not just your hand. In a dry and weary land, you help me stand. I'm not asking for riches or signs from above. Just let me dwell in your presence and love.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me just give you a little bio on Campbell Soup. Campbell Soup is their main headquarters is in New Jersey, and they used to give school tours through there and everything back when I was growing up. It started in Camden, New Jersey in 1869. Now, it's a global corporation. Now, back then it wasn't, but it is now. Now, although they started after slavery, they got a lot out of sharecropping. Sharecropping was just another form of slavery. So in 1869, a lot had changed in America. Although slavery was quote unquote over, a lot of things had happened to our people. The same people, what you got to understand, the same people that was there in 1619 are not the same by the time 1869 came. And the reason why I'm saying that is because by then it was a lot of grapes. There were a lot more mulattoes running around. Our people went through a lot. So it's not those same Africans from the beginning. When slavery was over, it was a lot of changes genetically in our people by then. So, but nevertheless, they did the same thing that any other corporation did. They exploited our people. And also, ladies and gentlemen, for some reason, it's like some big secret that slavery also took place in New Jersey. There was slavery in New Jersey. There is an actual slave cemetery in New Jersey. Okay. And even in New York, when they start digging up certain construction sites, they're finding the remains of the slaves that were there. I don't know why certain people act like it's some taboo thing to know that slavery also took place in the North. It happened here too. Okay. So the first soup that Campbell Soup put out, which went into production, was 1895. It was beefsteak tomato soup. That was the very first soup they put out, and it was not sold in a can. It was actually sold in a jar. It did not move to a can until like 2 years later. And then that's when they start introducing the condensed soup that you see today. And the condensed soup is in a smaller can because you don't need a big can for condensed soup because once you remove it, you just add water into it and it becomes a bigger soup. So, Campbell Soup, which many of you may not know, also owns Pepperidge Farms. And that's another thing. Many of these corporations own other corporations. So Pepperidge Farms also belongs to Campbell Soup. And of course, there's a lot of other companies that fall under Campbell Soup. Now, let's talk about it. Now, we always see a variety of soup on the shelves. We see Progresso, we see Campbell's, we see the generic store brands, and all these other brands out there, right? Ladies and gentlemen, all of the soup comes from one source. It's just canned for different companies, but it's all the same soup. Because I know I grew up with people. Oh, that's generic. Oh no, we get this brand. We don't get that generic. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Campbell actually pours soup for all kinds of companies out here. It's all the same soup. It just goes into different labeled cans. See, a lot of people think these are all different organizations. No, they don't. They just pay one company, and that one company pours for everybody, really. Progresso, Campbell, all came from the same source, all of it. So what I'm also letting you know, if it says bioengineered on Campbell's, it says it on Progresso, it says it on Chunky, which is also Campbell, and it says it on all of the generic brands. Now, when it says is bioengineered, what it means is not so much the meat, but it's telling you all of the vegetables came from GMO crops. Okay. It came from GMO crops. That's what they're telling you. So, and I know many of us, we try to stay away from GMO things. Unfortunately, damn near all of the soup in this country is bioengineered. And if you don't believe me, the next time you walk in your supermarket, pick up each can and you're going to see bioengineered on each one, even the generic brands, because they all use GMO vegetables. All of them do. All right. The same thing for many of your vegetables, like canned vegetables, those are bioengineered too. You'd be surprised at how many. I think now that all this stuff came out about Campbell Soup, a lot of people are going to be paying closer attention to labels. Absolutely. And, some of your breads, even, flatbreads and stuff are bioengineered. And I tell you what, if you want to do yourself a favor, buy a bread maker. I bought a bread maker during the time we were on lockdown. Oh, the bread that comes out of it is so good. It is so good. And it's not as hard to put together as you think. You literally just drop the ingredients in, and the machine mixes and kneads everything. It does the whole thing. And then once it's done, it bakes the bread and it bakes a whole loaf for you. And I'm telling you, that bread is off the chart. It is really good. So, we're going to get into this. So, I just wanted to give you a little understanding on bioengineered because I've been seeing that. That's been around now for years on cans. And I just think the average consumer just never paid attention to it, or, you know, you just didn't think it was a big deal. But now we know, but it's good that this happened because now it's going to educate all of us. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. All right. Well, before I share, I just got to do my announcement one more time. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen over on Etsy, everything on my store is 37% off. Use promo code CYBER25 to get your discount. So just go over to lisacrafts.etsy.com and get your good discount. All right. So, Campbell Soup. And whoever, this executive got to be the dumbest man in the world. And he got fired. And he calls himself trying to sue. He ain't gonna get nothing out of no lawsuit. You ruined their business. Campbell Soup is never gonna be the same because of this loudmouth executive. And you know what? This was the most he think he said that on his own. That was the most high making him reveal what is going on. with that soup because that soup is sold all around the world to millions and millions of people. So, no, this had to come out. That had to come out, and I'm glad it did. I'm glad. So, y'all, please give me a 1. Okay, I see your ones. Thank you. Let's get started.
Martin Valley's remark cost Campbell's billions. A recently leaked audio clip has gone viral online. Campbell's vice president, Martin Valley, claimed we use bioengineered meat in our soups. Only the poor eat this stuff. Anyway, this wasn't a slip of the tongue. It reflected his true beliefs. In their view, the working class has no choice. Previously, employees had complained about Martin Valley only to be fired by him. The employee recorded his remarks because he trusted his instincts that Martin was a bit off. He had gone to meet Martin to discuss salary, but instead found himself sitting at a restaurant listening to Martin rant for an hour. He recorded the entire conversation. After the recording surfaced, Campbell Soup Company stock plummeted by billions. The company stated his remarks do not represent the company's position. But everyone knows those at the top share the same mindset. Martin Valley has now been charged and may face imprisonment. Share your thoughts in the comment section.
Okay, I know everybody's talking about Campbell Soup, but Progresso is not owned by Campbell's, I have learned too. I thought maybe they were because theirs contain the bioengineered food ingredients too. It says ask, learn more at General Mills. So I don't know. And this is French onion. So what meat would be in this? Beef broth. Onions. So you tell me the onions are lab created? I don't know. But yeah, just let everybody know it's not just Campbell's.
Campbell's Soup uses bioengineered food ingredients, but not the ones that you're thinking of. To start off, a bioengineered food ingredient comes from genetically modified organisms, also known as GMO crops. In the case of Campbell's Soup, they use 33 bioengineered ingredients from 4 GMO crops, which are corn, sugar beets, soybeans, and canola. Lab-grown meat is USDA and FDA approved, but is not considered a bioengineered food ingredient and is not used by food companies like Campbell's Soup because it's extremely expensive. Foods with ingredients from GMO crops like Campbell's contain a special disclosure in them, and a breaking verdict closed the loophole that allowed companies to not disclose GMO ingredients under the 5% detectability threshold. While large food manufacturers disclose the use of ingredients from GMOs, foods sold or made in restaurants, food trucks, trains, airplanes, delis, and other food service establishments are not required to make the disclosure. If you want to read more about bioengineered food, be sure to check out my recent Substack post, and to find local organic farms, check out my free farm app, and to grow your own food, check out my heirloom seeds.
Even though Campbell's VP has officially been fired for saying that the Campbell Soup is actually meant for poor people, the main reason why I feel like he's been fired because he revealed this secret ingredient that the Campbell Soup actually contained, and he said it's actually made from bioengineered meat made from a 3D printer. I'm not surprised. The reason why I'm not surprised, because y'all, we eat this garbage every single day. We know the food that we ingest in our bodies is not good for you, but we do it anyway. I mean, think about the certain meats we eat. There's a lot of meats at these stores that's selling. It actually consists of lab grown. A lot of people still eat that. There are actually videos here I be seeing on Facebook where they actually show you how they make certain foods before they actually ship it out to the stores. It make it not want to eat that. I actually seen one video. It was a factory show you how they actually made those ramen noodles, but people still eating it. So what's the big deal? Because now we see what the Campbell Soup is actually made out of. Y'all still gonna use it, put in y'all dressing. Y'all still gonna use it for whatever you actually use to cook your food with, or maybe eat it like it is. So why y'all acting so surprised that it's got something in it that we're not supposed to be digesting our bodies? So now we know what Campbell Soup consists of. So it is your choice now that it's out there thanks to the VP. Are you going to continue to eat Campbell Soup, or are you going to stop eating it? Because at the end of the day, Majority of people on here say they're not going to eat Campbell soup. Yes, y'all is. Stop lying. You already know. Right now, you're just putting this out for content because it's trending. But at the end of the day, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. People use cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, whatever to make their dressing. You know, some people may not. But at the end of the day, people still going to eat that Campbell soup. So I'm not surprised that the secret ingredient actually came out. So you heard about this story. Let me know in the comment section. Tell me how you feel about it.
So since this Campbell thing is going on, that the CEO spoke out, the quiet part out loud, I avoid GMOs anyways, but some bioengineered ingredients, you just can't avoid it. It's in everything. But the fact that they're telling us that this is literally 3D printed meat, we're not eating real food. Whoops, my thing closed. Open. Yep. Bye. You just ruined your fucking company. Oh yeah. And not only did you ruin that, don't you guys own these too? You own these, right? Yeah, we're done. We're done with the fake food.
The CEO of Campbell Soup Company has been dismissed and faces corporate litigation and substantial fines after personally admitting that the products were made for the poor and that his own family would never consume them because they contained no real chicken. The company has filed a lawsuit against him, alleging he caused severe damage to the brand and seeking millions in damages. Meanwhile, some consumers reported finding unidentified ingredients in the products. Additionally, several chefs with decades of experience publicly stated that meat ingredients from certain suppliers exhibited abnormalities, making them more prone to spoilage during cooking. They've had to relearn cooking techniques. Regulators discovered Campbell's knew about the changed ingredient sources long ago, yet still provided compliant certifications, shifting risks onto every ordinary consumer. If you're still consuming these products, you face an immense invisible risk. Prosecutors are now using this as core evidence to charge the company with systemic fraud. Share your thoughts in the comments section.
Bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
Campbell Soup vice president just said that their soups have 3D printed meat in them. He was also caught on recording saying that Campbell's products are for poor people and that he won't eat them because he knows that they are unhealthy with the bioengineered meat in them. This was all caught on audio recording by an employee named Robert Garza of Michigan. Garza filed a lawsuit against Campbell's on Thursday and released audio he says features Vice President and Chief Information Security Officer Martin Bally. A Campbell Soup Company spokesperson released a statement that said, "We are proud of the food we make, the people who make it, and the high-quality ingredients we use." The comments on the recording are not only inaccurate, they are patently absurd. Keep in mind the alleged comments are made by an IT person who has nothing to do with how we make our food. If the recordings are legitimate, the comments are unacceptable and they do not reflect our values and the culture of our company. Mr. Bally is temporarily on leave while we conduct our investigation.
This is what happens. Somebody says something stupid, people believe it, and it hurts a company. Maybe the company lied, maybe the company didn't lie. Campbell Soup, the comment that an executive made was that they were using bioengineered chicken. In other words, 3D printed chicken. Campbell says it isn't true and fired the guy. But whatever is true, I'm not going to want to eat Campbell Soup for a long time because I'm going to be thinking like, ew, there's something wrong with this meat. Even if it's perfectly fine, it's already set a pace. Sad. A lot of bad people out there. Maybe, maybe not. That's how you could destroy a big business or really hurt somebody real quick. And there's people that get off on that, which is even sadder. You know who they are.
We have that's for poor people. Who buys our I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's not healthy. Now that I know what the in it, eat bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
Campbell's.
Good. This morning, Campbell Soup is denying claims about its products, allegedly made by an executive in a recorded conversation. The person in the recording is also heard belittling Campbell's customers during an expletive-filled rant.
We have that's for poor people. Who buys our I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's not healthy. Now that I know what the in it, I can eat bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
The recording is allegedly from a conversation that's now part of a lawsuit filed by Robert Garza, a cybersecurity analyst for Campbell's, who claims he was fired after reporting the alleged remarks, which he says also included racist comments about company employees. Garza claims Campbell executive Martin Bally made those comments after the two met to discuss Garza's salary. In a statement, Garza's attorney saying, "This situation has been very hard on Robert. He thought Campbell's would be thankful that he reported Martin's behavior, but instead, he was abruptly fired." Campbell's responding saying, "If the comments were in fact made, they are unacceptable. They do not reflect our values and the culture of our company." And going on to say, "The comments heard on the recording about our food are not only inaccurate, they are patently absurd."
Nothing melts away the cold like a delicious hot bowl of Campbell soup.
Campbell saying, "The chicken meat used in our soups comes from long-trusted USDA-approved U.S. suppliers and meets our high-quality standards." And the company noting, Bally worked in IT and had nothing to do with food production. Bally is on leave, pending a company investigation. In the meantime, the Attorney General in Florida, a state that bans lab-grown meat, says his office is now investigating Campbell's products. We reached out to Martin Bally, but did not hear back. Campbell says it has not been able to verify the recording.
So we know what's going on with Campbell Noodle Soup. In the food industry, one big brand will make other brands to sell at stores. So we'll go with the Campbell Soup first. There's that little ingredient everybody is talking about. Well, guess what? It's also in these products as well. Right there. So if you're not going to eat Campbell Noodle Soup anymore, check the other brands as well. This is just what I have in my pantry, but I'm pretty sure other soups will be the same way. So be careful what you guys eat.
All right, guys, let's take a look at this. This is a can of chicken gumbo soup made by Campbell's that I have in my cabinet, right? Always ate chicken noodle soup, loved it. You know, I'm nowhere from poor, but let's take a look at the back of this can because this is what's trending.
You know what? I thought about something. Even if they come back, because they said they go through the USDA and get all of their chickens that way, the chicken meat. My question to Campbell Soup, how much of that chicken meat is from Black farmers? Or is all of your vegetables and all of your chicken and all of your beef just come exclusively from white farmers? That would be my question, because I know they're not buying anything from Black farmers. And even if they verified it and said it is meat, for that reason alone, I would not even buy it no more. Because we know Black farmers have never gotten the same opportunities that white farmers have gotten in this country. And I would love to know from Campbell Soup how much of that meat comes from Black farmers. I'm willing to bet none. Just saying, y'all. But let's go on.
Right now, right? It says contains bioengineered food ingredients. The ingredients come from corn, soy, sugar, and this product contains genetically modified crop. Read your ingredients, people. This blew my mind this morning. Not gonna lie. My husband eats this, but I don't eat this, right? But I use their cream of chicken soup. I use cream of mushroom soup. I use a lot of their products, especially when I'm cooking. So let's look at the cream of chicken, which has no chicken in it, right? Look at that. Same thing. Contains bioengineered food ingredients. This is just the cream of chicken. Chicken and gumbo, cream of chicken. But on the side of the can, what does that say, guys? Take a look at the side of the cans. Chicken meat with no antibiotics, made with fresh form cream. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it at that. Yeah, right. As you can see, cream of chicken gumbo. Campbell Soup, you ought to be ashamed of your motherfucking selves. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. But I'll do you one better. Give me 1 sec. My bad, guys. I thought I had another can of maybe Progressive or something in my cabinet, but I did not. But I'm in awe. And I have the nerve to say, good. Good. With this bioengineered food ingredients that you have been selling people for years. And Mr. CEO, not every poor person eats Campbell chicken noodle soup. You have some rich mofos that's eating it as well. So it ain't just poor people. But shame on you, Campbell Soup. Shame on you. Because you definitely just lost a consumer. Now you sleep on that.
Stay away from Campbell Soup, especially if you're sick. If you take a look at the back of the ingredients, you'll notice that it says contains bioengineered food ingredients as well as genetically modified crops. This is not what you want to be putting inside of your body.
So I'm looking in my cabinet and I'm looking at this Campbell Soup. And this Campbell, a lot of times we use the cream of chicken to put with other ingredients to make it more creamier. But, I'm rethinking a lot of stuff. I have recently stopped eating a lot of canned foods. And now, with this, let's see, food ingredients, modified, contains ingredients from canola corn, products from genetically modified corn. Genetically modified. What does that mean? Oh my goodness, y'all. It's really basically going back to how we used to eat. You're going to have to start growing your own vegetables and making your own soups. And leave this bioengineered food. We got to leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
Campbell's isn't the only soup with bioengineered ingredients.
Let's look at the Campbell soup real quick. I want to compare it to like Progresso. Before I even do that, why does the can of tomato, just fucking regular tomato soup, look at this. It's bioengineered food ingredient. The sugar in this product comes from genetically modified crops, but yet it's heart healthy. But then again, so does Progresso. And this is the tomato basil. And yes, it is on literally every single one of their products. Every single one. Now let's pick up the store brand and look at their ingredients. I remember back in the day, it was like, oh, you're poor if you can't afford the name brands. Well, the name brands are killing you. Might be smarter to stick to the store brands. At least certain ones. Nothing on here about no bioengineered ingredient. But if you want a better choice, you can go with this brand. And as you can see, the ingredients are really easy to read, and that's what you want to go for. Because even all this chunky stuff is the same thing, all of it. They have to put it on all of their cans because it all uses the same stuff. I love Amy's. Amy's is a great choice as well for soups. So there's better alternatives besides Campbell's.
The CEO of Campbell Soup Company has been dismissed and faces corporate litigation and substantial fines after personally admitting that the products were made for the poor and that his own family would never consume them because they contained no real chicken. The company has filed a lawsuit against him, alleging he caused severe damage to the brand and seeking millions in damages. Meanwhile, some consumers reported finding unidentified ingredients in the products. Additionally, several chefs with decades of experience publicly stated that meat ingredients from certain suppliers exhibited abnormalities, making them more prone to spoilage during cooking. They've had to relearn cooking techniques. Regulators discovered Campbell's knew about the changed ingredient sources long ago, yet still provided compliant certifications, shifting risks onto every ordinary consumer. If you're still consuming these products, you face an immense invisible risk. Prosecutors are now using this as core evidence to charge the company with systemic fraud. Share your thoughts in the comments section.
Bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
Okay, you're going to love this. So Campbell's, the soup people just got hit with a lawsuit. And according to this lawsuit, a recorded company vice president was out here talking wild. I'm talking calling their own customers poor people, dragging coworkers and saying their chicken is bioengineered and even 3D printed. Now look, I'm not saying Campbell's is even printing chicken in a back room, but those are the words allegedly coming out of a Campbell's VP mouth on this recording. The crazy part, this isn't some random factory guy. This is an executive, a corporate VP, someone sitting high up in a building supposedly talking about this. So, it's blowing up. People are asking if this is how VP talks behind closed doors, what's really going on. The story's exploding right now. So I've been doing some digging. So pop over to the blog and I'll show you, what the real details are and what we have so far. So have a great day and enjoy a bowl of soup. Just maybe not Campbell's.
We knew they were fucking with the food supply. We knew. I mean, they were messing with the water supply years and years ago. They've ultimately tried to eliminate heirloom seeds. So why wouldn't they start screwing with the food supply? Why wouldn't they start bioengineering and 3D printing meat? Well, allegedly, the Campbell's Soup Company vice president got caught and recorded for almost an hour describing how these bioengineered foods are produced for poor people to consume. That rich people already have the insight. They've already been told, don't eat anything out of a can or a box. And if you do, turn it around and make sure that it doesn't say bioengineered anything in it. Apparently, there's not been enough tests done, but the FDA, they sure didn't mind to pass it right on through now, did they? Look, the American people are eating poison. Now, allegedly, and let me say it again, allegedly, this rich VP of Campbell's, he got caught spilling the beans. And guess what? The guy that recorded him, he got fired by Campbell's.
My dad ate 2 of them, which he shouldn't have, but I'm here to return them. Hello, can I return these, please, if you don't mind? I have the barcode thing. It's right here. I gotta put my number in here, I think. Yeah. I think maybe.
Transaction is returned. Yes, it's your number.
Okay. Then do I put my card in, or it'll go back on the card, right? Okay, cool, perfect. Probably.
Tap it just in case.
Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Did you have the receipt by any chance?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Have a good one. You too. Perfect. So they were returned with a total of $6.58. It would have been like $14. My dad didn't eat the other two, but return them, guys, because then they got to throw them away, and then the company loses money.
So I don't know if you guys have been watching the news about the whole Campbell Soup fiasco. Well, it's absolutely fucking true. Right here on the label, bioengineered foods and genetically modified crops. You can see right there. I don't know when, I haven't looked at this before, but fuck, man. You guys better put regular food back in here because I don't think you're going to recover from this shit. Nobody's going to buy this knowing that you put fake meat. I've been wondering for a while, but yeah, nasty. Never buying this shit again.
I'm here at Aldi, and almost everything they have contains bioengineered food ingredients.
Okay, now I know everybody heard about Campbell's chicken noodle soup and their company getting exposed for using 3D printed meat, bioengineered noodles, nasty ass juice. I'll say Campbell's, I knew something wasn't right when I heated up some chicken noodle soup and there was spots of oil and grease in it. After this whole Campbell's chicken noodle soup shebang, everybody's been paying attention to the product labels. Well, shoppers in Aldi started examining all the products and they quickly realized that everything was bioengineered. And I think it's really crazy how they put shit like that in Aldi's because that's how they get us. They put it in places that are cheaper. They try to make it more cost efficient. They tell us to bioengineer food and to bioengineer meat and 3D print it. It's way more expensive than the original cost, but it doesn't seem like that. I would even go as far to say is that we've been eating bioengineered shit for a very long time and that we are just now finding out about it. Kind of like how AI has been used behind the scenes for a long time, but they're just now releasing it to the public. I don't know. Comment and let me know what y'all think about bioengineered food. I just don't understand. Why do we need to start bioengineering shit? Is something wrong with our food supply? Somebody told me that cow production, like farms and stuff, is at an all-time low, and there's no possible way that all the burgers we're eating are from cows, considering that production is so low. Have y'all seen Asian Doll? I don't know. I'm gonna shut the fuck up and show you what I'm talking about. If you'd like to show some love and support, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit the like and follow button for me.
Contains a bioengineered food ingredient.
All right, y'all. Mm-mm-mm. You know what this is, y'all? This is the reason why everything should not be mass produced. Because anytime you mass produce something, there's always all kinds of flaws with it, even with cars. There's literally no car with no recalls. And that's all due to mass production. And see, rich people don't care what they give us. They don't care if they give you cars with defects, food that's engineered, or even medicine with all kinds of synthetic ingredients in it. They don't care what they serve you because for them, it's all about the bottom dollar. So when you start mass producing things, then you stop caring about the quality of it. That's how I see it. And I don't think everything was intended to be mass produced, but it's all about money. It's all about greed. And they don't care what they serve us, y'all. They don't care. Hmm. Well, look, y'all, just be conscious of what you pick up in these stores from now on. That's all. Just be conscious of it. Um, a son of Yah 87, thank you for the new memberships. Thank you very much. And your support for my channel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. They don't care. It's just about pushing everything out to the market and selling it. They don't care. Quality is not an issue here in America. You know what I mean? Look, Donald Trump is the president of no regulations. He doesn't believe there should be all these regulations out here. He was trying to get rid of them even in his first administration. He don't want regulations, and there really should be, especially in situations with the food and everything. It definitely should be regulations, but he is the president of no regulations. So these folks can literally do whatever they want, poison your air, poison your food. He doesn't care. He does not care. Poison your water. Mm-hmm. So, y'all, I am going to conclude, and we're going to get into at 3:45 Three-Eye Atlas and all the different prophecies out here about it. So we'll talk about that more in depth at 3:45. So I hope to see you all then. Please enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Shalom, family.